here at Bronchick, and I'm applying to Brown University's TheatreBridge summer program for the summer of 2014. Started theater in middle school when I did 2 productions. I did Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and High School Musical, but serious theater classes aren't offered in middle school, so I had to wait till I was in high school to really realize how amazing theater is. Last year in 9th grade and this year I took advanced acting. My teacher, Mr. Nigel Williams, is completely incredible, and his talent and creativity is endless and completely inspiring to me. He's inspired me to do 4 shows over the last 2 years, which the shows were Comedy of Errors, Blood Brothers, Crucible, and Hairspray. These 4 shows have given me a view of a really broad spectrum of what theater is. Last year, Comedy of Errors is very lighthearted and silly, but then we do Crucible this year, and it's a completely intense and sometimes terrifying experience. And then last year we did Blood Brothers, which is a very dark musical. And then fast forward a year, we're doing Hairspray, and it's doing ponies and non-stop smiling. So it was a very different experience to do a dark to light, and they're all fun, but it takes different skills to do those. Getting more experience is really important to my improvement. I've been doing theater for 3 years, but just doing theater in high school really isn't enough to really improve, because my director can't focus on what I need to improve. So doing something outside of school, spending a whole 6 weeks just devoted to theater, living theater, would be more than ideal. It would be perfect. And next year, my school's musical will be touring at the American High School Theater Festival in Edinburgh, and I want to be ready for that, and I want to go with them. I would like a bigger role, and I think this program would be amazingly helpful for that, me on a more professional level. Aside for theater, another thing that really shaped my high school experience was joining my school's cross-country team. And it's been an incredibly amazing yet painful experience. When I joined last year, I had no idea what I was getting into. I liked running, but I didn't know I'd like running that much. And I ran hundreds of minutes each week, and I ran uphill, ran downhill. I injured myself, yet it was still worth it, I think, to beat my PR and to make it to finals and to help my teammates, because the whole experience of mind over matter is incredibly important to the sport. That no matter how in shape you are, if you don't have a good attitude, you will not do well, and you will fail. So it's really built up my endurance for pain, for physical pain, mental pain, and dealing with uncomfortable situations. And if I can get through the pain of running 3 miles at my race pace, then I can get through almost any painful situation, including the next 2 years of high school. The biggest help in getting through those painful moments, though, running and off the track, would be with my team, because without my team, I wouldn't have been able to do it as much as strong as I am mentally. I need the support of my friends, and they were always there for me, and it was a really close-knit group, and it was so much fun to know that they were always there for me and that we were getting through something painful together. Another thing I'm really enthusiastic about is French and learning a language in general. I love French. I think it's a beautiful language. I really enjoy speaking it, though it is difficult at times. But I really enjoy communicating a different language for my own. I enjoy the challenge. I want to be able to speak to other people in a language that isn't my own, to be able to communicate with others around the world, because French it's not just spoken in France. It's spoken in, I think, more than 20 other countries. So it's incredibly useful. For a month, the last 2 summers, I attended Middlebury's French immersion program at Pomona College, and it's been the most helpful to my French learning abilities, because you can't speak English for a month. You're stuck in your language, and you you can't ask, how do I say? You have to just say it or describe what you want. And like there's no other way of communication. So it's incredibly helpful, and I made so many friends, and I learned so much about like the French language. Aside to learning how to conjugate different verbs, I learned all about French culture, and I learned a lot of French music, and there were these funny dance parties where everyone's just singing a lot of French, and there's 60 of us all singing in French, and it's really cool to be able to make friends just in a language, because it's different when you have to speak in language with them, because it's kind of hard sometimes to communicate like what you want to say to them, but like when you do, it's like an achievement for both of you that you were able to say it, and you were and the other person was able to understand you. I hope this gives you a good idea of who I am, and I'm really excited for this program, and thank you so much for considering me.